I was just telling my dog he's not allowed to bark. We'll see how well that goes. I am starting to long for winter because I'm getting totally worn out from doing so many markets. The funny thing is that we tried to cut down going into this summer. Yeah, that didn't work out so well. Somehow I've become a regular at our local Saturday morning market, and that was not in the plan. We do okay at markets, not phenomenally well, like some people. I saw one video last week about how this person made $1,000 at a farmer's market. We're nowhere near that. But we do okay and make a profit. And this year is better than last year. And that's good enough for me since I'm just new and building up a business. Last year we did 2 shows or markets a month and decided that was too much. Colin wanted to cut it down to 1 per month, and we stuck with that for about a month. What happened was this. You know how the contracts always say, if you don't show up, you won't get invited back? Well, we had one time last year when we had car trouble and we couldn't get there. So, it was no warning, just whoops, car won't start. Yeah. So, when late winter, early spring came around and we didn't get an invite or register early or whatever it is in the email that we get from everyone else, I thought we'd been kicked off the market, and this was our local one. Meanwhile, the band got an invite to play the farmer's market. Yeah, I'm busy. Go away. Cat. The band got an invite to play the farmer's market. Not just us, it was like all bands and musicians who had played at city festivals and stuff. So just a blanket thing so they could get music at the farmer's market. And we responded, and I'm not sure very many people did. Then we picked out a bunch of dates and all that. And you're wondering, what does this have to do with the price of beans? Well, here I was emailing the person in charge of the markets, and she finally sent me a message saying, why wasn't I signed up as a craft person? And I said, oh, I thought you didn't want me anymore, etc., etc. And it turns out she just never sent the intro invite email to anyone. I guess I was supposed to know by osmosis. Of course she wanted us. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I showed up and I did really well. Better than I'd ever done before. For me, that just means a couple $100. I've yet to match that, honestly. But boy, having a successful first market sure did inspire me to do more. And my booth rent was $0 because of the band playing. She had wanted to get businesses to sponsor the music and actually pay musicians. Shocker. But apparently that didn't work out. So she gave me free booth rent for the whole summer, which is how I turned into a regular. I even learned how to set up the tent by myself, although I did buy an easier tent. Because by then it was too late for Colin to change his schedule around. Plus, he didn't really want to do a market every week, remember? So, I did several of them on my own. I even learned how to pack up the car so everything fit in once the thing was over. Ask me about the time it rained, though. Packing up in the pouring rain is quite an experience. So yeah, if I wasn't set up at a vendor, I was in the band playing at the farmer's market, except for the few dates we had already reserved elsewhere. The funny thing about the band playing the farmer's market is that people came down to see us play, and it sure is odd to see the metal crowd dressed in metal regalia out that early in the morning, drawn to the farmer's market. because we have a really good guitarist who does the long solos and stuff. So people show up just to watch him play. And lots of those people are other guitarists from other bands. Anyways, back to crafting and markets and exhaustions and all that. If you do markets or shows every weekend, when the heck are you supposed to sew or create new things? My supply is getting a little thinned out. I mean, this is mid-August. And if you spend so much time on in-person selling, how are you supposed to build up the mail order business? Things start sliding and not getting done at all. The summer just flew by. And then, this week, I had some stuff left in the car from the band playing, and it's been rainy, so on one of the non-rainy days, I went out and unloaded the band stuff and loaded up the market stuff, so I'd be ready a little early, but it wasn't raining. Then I was kind of confused about my schedule and actually looked at the calendar and realized I'm not even doing a market this weekend. I saved the date because there's a yearly rummage sale that I like to go to, which I missed last year because I booked a show on that date. And I was determined not to do it again, so there I was months ago trying to figure out what the date of it would be so I could save it. My method for doing this is to go into the minutes or the monthly reports of the organizations that are sponsoring them and read through until I find an announcement for it. Sometimes there's an actual event schedule, but not often. I know more about these organizations than you'd think, just from trying to find out when the book sales or rummage sales or garage sales or whatever a book sales. Anyways, yeah. I had that date saved for months. You would think I would have remembered it. Good thing I looked at the calendar. And I'm all ready for, the next market after that. This is not the way I pictured things when I started, though I'm pretty sure that's how anyone who starts any kind of business feels once they're into it. Wasn't it like 2 days ago when I was optimistically telling you how running two businesses at once isn't so bad, that when one is slow, you could work on the other? And here I am today complaining about being tired. But then when you've got two going strong at once, it's a different story, isn't it? I guess I really need to work on priorities. In this early stage, craft-wise, I'm doing way better selling in person than online. But, boy, the in-person events really take it out of you. I'm hoping that the online business catches up. Not that running an online business is a piece of cake, but it's not so physically exhausting. So here I am talking about cutting down on in-persons, and yet this week I bought some new display things. Not expensive display things, but still, yeah. I saw another dealer who displayed makeup bags and tote bags on hat racks or coat racks, the tall stick things with the little things coming out of them. And I found a wooden one on Amazon that was $13, so I bought two. At Aldi then this week, they had dish display things. Bamboo things where you can store plates or pot lids standing up. I've seen people use those for displaying book sleeves. You know how Aldi's is. They have something 1 week and then never again, so you better buy it when you have the chance. So I bought two. But I didn't realize they were 2-packs, so now I have 4, which is way more than I have book sleeves for, so yeah, oops. But they were cheap. And you can put zipper pouches in them, right? If I can find one, I want to try getting a booth at a craft shop. So I keep accumulating display things with that in mind. We have one locally, but it's only open on weekends, so I don't know if I can make enough money to pay the booth fees and all that. Yeah. I'm just nervous to take that step. Would that add to the stress? Or would it make things easier? That's the big question, of course. So, yeah, here I am sitting here telling you how stressed and how tired I am and thinking about getting into a new part of the business. Yeah, that's me. Okay. Now, I'd like to do a song that's really old, like start of our career. And some of the references in there, people aren't going to get. I mean, they might have been out of date back when. And all I seem to have is the original pages when I was writing the song. So it's kind of like a puzzle. This goes here, this goes here, this goes here. So I have more reason than usual for screwing up. Although, as you know, I can screw up when I have none. It's called corny. I am so sophisticated. I wear black, I read Kerouac. I'm cool, I'm smart, I write morbid poems and hang out in the art museum. I know all the right people, I know everywhere to go. But baby, what you've done to me is stupid, way too low. You're making me corny, just like John Boy Walton. You're making me sappy, like a harlequin romance. I sit and wait for the phone to ring. You ought to be ashamed of what you've done to me. I've got my reputation in good society. Well, there ain't nobody cooler than little old freaking me. I don't suppose you noticed when you gave my heart the shove. There's nothing that sticks harder than good old-fashioned love. You're making me corny, just like John Boy Walton. You're making me sappy, like a harlequin romance. I sit and wait for the phone to ring. You ought to be ashamed